Welcome back to another episode of the Camper Hack mini-series that keeps growing. Alright, we have a fun one for you today. Recognize this? Probably not. It's the remainder of what's left of my escape hatch over there. So big gust of wind came through, ripped it right off the camper, threw it over in the neighbor's yard, and now I have just a few pieces left. We have a break in the wind and we have a break in the rain. And so I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of the camper hatch off, try to tape it back together, use it as a template, and then we're going to make ourselves a new one. All right, first step, let's go ahead and take off the rest of that camper hatch there. So some of y'all like to know why I do things this way instead of this way. So better get into that real quick. So why am I building a hatch instead of purchasing one? Couple of reasons. I was just looking for this hatch online because I can't find it anywhere in town. 1982 hatch out of an old ass camper. Nobody cares about that around here. So I looked online. I found the hatch cover for 60 bucks plus shipping. Comes out to about 100 bucks and it's still just a flimsy plastic piece of shit. Or I could buy the whole hatch system, which would probably be a good idea considering how warped my other one is. But it is December. It's blowing, raining. It's going to start snowing right after that. It'll take about a week and a half for that to get here, and I just kind of want to wrap this up. But the end result will still be a plastic piece of shit that lets in a whole bunch of light, which I don't want. And that's about $150, $150, $160 on up to $250, depending on where you get it from. And that I could find with free shipping. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to bang this out this weekend. So when the weather clears up, I can go camping right away. And also, I wanted something a lot more sturdy than just a broken piece of plastic crap. Because if you watch the channel, you see the overlanding. You know that I don't always cut the trees down before I drive through them. Sometimes I just go underneath them, push them out of the way with the camper, and I keep going. So having a nice, hard exterior like that will help out a lot. So that's why we're going to build one instead of purchasing one. Plus, if we purchased everything brand new, I wouldn't have much of a channel, would I? This is a do-it-yourself channel. We do it ourselves. Yes! Alright, and this is what we're going to use for our replacement here. Picked up some plywood from the hardware store. And I decided to go with a poly stain, so it's polyurethane and stain all in one. Went with the espresso color. Wasn't quite sure how it was going to turn out, but it turned out okay, I suppose. A little darker than I wanted it, but maybe I should have just put on lighter coats. I think that'll accent the camper a little bit and provide some nice seal. And then for hardware, I'm going to use some of these roof screws, some of these corner brackets to hold it together. And then this I just got for color accent. It's not really needed, but I'm going to put that on the covers. I thought that would look, or put them on the corners. I thought that would look nice against the black. And then got an interior hitch here, or latch this time. So hopefully the idea for using 3/4 inch wood and all this metal and everything is to create some weight so that it doesn't blow off in the future. And then we'll have a latch, of course, so that'll keep it all nice and cinched down. And the wood will provide a little bit more insulation, and I will definitely block the sunlight, which is a big thing for me. When I'm sleeping up there, I don't like being woken up at 4 in the freaking morning in June or July with the sun beating down on me. And so we'll probably insulate that as well once we get it. But we have the old hatch cover taped up best we can. We're going to use this as a template. We'll just lay this directly on top of the wood, trace it, cut it, and we'll just kind of take it from there. All right. Just picked up this new M18 Milwaukee saw here. Put a nice Diablo blade on it. It was on sale, so I figured, you know, might as well. I think the last skill saw I bought was a corded one back in the day, and I still have it, but I've been borrowing my buddy's Milwaukee forever now, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to get myself a nice Milwaukee one so it matches the set. Already have the charger and the batteries, and it looks pretty sturdy. So if you guys have used these before, tell me what you think about them. You like them? Hate them? It'll be my first time using one, at least the Milwaukee brand. I really do like the this handhold right here. And I like that the Allen wrench key sits right in there as well. But otherwise it looks pretty sturdy, it looks pretty basic. Got your little chip chute there. Your saw lock right there, a couple adjustments. And should work fine. Let's find out. I'm going to score the outline with a screwdriver. And when I cut the little side pieces, I'm going to mount them on the inside here, so I need to make sure that I have enough room on all sides, and it looks like the sides will be just enough once I center it a little better. And for here, I'm going to bump that out 1.5 inches because this is 3/4 inch, so 3/4 and 3/4 is 1.5 inches. So I'll get that scored so that when I mount the side pieces, it'll take up that 1.5 inches, and then ultimately it should be about the same inside diameter-ish. Should be somewhere in there. Should be close enough for us at least. So let's go ahead and get this scored and cut. Right, that'll be our line. Is you gonna help, buddy? Yeah, is you helping? Good boy. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're such a good help. You're such a good help. Saw cut's pretty good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and score the sides here. So we're just gonna score the sides, cut them one at a time. We need 2 of these sides, 2 of those sides, and then we'll have all the pieces that we need. So we'll go ahead and get started here. the next thing we're going to do is we're going to lightly sand all of these pieces down, because I only have one coat of that poly stain on there. And as you see, there's some high spots, like where it's shiny. It's where I laid it on a little too thick. So we're going to sand this for a couple of reasons. One, to get rid of those high spots. And two, we want that second coat to really soak in to that wood and adhere, instead of just adhering to the top layer of the first coat. And so that way, soaks into the wood, it'll cure, and it'll provide a nice, hard, rainproof exterior. So we're going to go ahead and sand it, then we'll put it together, and then we'll throw on our last coat of polystain. Those of you wondering what kind of sander I'm using this Ryobi sander that was donated by a subscriber and longtime contributor to my shenanigans before I even had a YouTube channel. So, thanks, Mr. Wick. The screws don't quite fit, so we're gonna have to drill them out so that it fits like that. later. And as you see, the hatch is on the camper right now. It's not mounted. We had a big old rainstorm come through, actually 3 rainstorms, one after another. And that trash bag that I had over there was getting beat up pretty bad and filled up with water. So I ran out real quick and I just threw the hatch on there, so it's just loosely sitting. And after the storms came and went, the snow came, and more storm came. But now here we are a week later. I think it's nice enough for us to finish this project up. So I'm going to go ahead and climb up there, pull that off, and we'll get to work. We got to figure out some kind of hatch system and latches and stuff. So. Okay, so here's the challenge. Everything's frozen. I'm gonna thaw it up with some MAF gas and there we go. That's what I'm talking about. I found, or used a couple of roof screws, one of those fat roof screws that I used to put this thing together, and just cinched around on either side so that it's not sliding back and forth on the rails. So that worked out pretty good. And here's the last piece. I just got to figure out how to rig up a latch system. I'll show you what we figure out. Okay, we got her, guys. We got her. I'll take you top side to see what we did up there, but for now, I'll show you what it is. So I took an L bracket, bent it so it was straight, and then I screwed it to the top of the hatch and put this in the bracket so it's nice and strong. And then I used the carabiner with a buckle there. So now the hatch won't blow open, but I can still open it a bit, or if I wanted to get out all the way, I can do that. But for the most part, I think this would be fine. The next thing I got to do, which I'll probably wait till spring or something, because all I really want to do this time through is just keep it weatherproof so I can keep the rain and elements and shit out of it and keep the wind from blowing the hatch off. So I think this will work out just fine, but I need to rig up some kind of system to keep it propped open in the summertime so I can let out some air, or let some air in, let some bad air out. But this will work. Let me show you what we got here. Okay, there is our buckle system. That's screwed in. Use these self-tapping screws that I had laying around for this, and then for up there. And essentially, I just did the same thing. I used the same kind of bracket up top side, but I took a L bracket, a little L bracket, and bent it out. So that should be nice. Let's take you top side and show you what we got. Okay, top side here, you can see those little roof screws that I used. Both sides to keep it from sliding back and forth. Actually, the hatch looks pretty good. And then on the inside, there, you can see what I was talking about. Bent out L bracket, a couple of screws. So they're pretty good now. Let's see if I can get you a shot of what it looks like from the second floor of the house. Okay, we're on the second floor of my house looking out the window. I don't know how well that's going to show up. Our window is pretty dirty, but looks pretty good, I think. That should keep the weather out, should keep it protected. Okay. Thanks for watching. Hope it helped you out in some way. Hope you found it entertaining. If you did, please smash that like button. Consider subscribing and hitting that bell so you can see some projects we have lined up for the near future. Let me know if you want to see some winter camping in this thing, and we'll take you out. Well, we are due for a snowstorm here starting tonight for the next 2 weeks, so if we can make it out this next weekend, we might go camping in a snowstorm in the camper. So stay tuned for that. See you next time, guys. Thanks for sticking around.